All right, this is my second devlog for the Cimple engine, and got some new things to report, did some work, and I did a lot of work, actually. That's why this is a bit late. So first of all, I got in the tracing function now works, and more than that, I can now place new blocks. So I can actually build a little structure here. I can also delete blocks. No crashes, no memory leaks, which is all good. On top of that, I also implemented in a way to have different textures and be able to dynamically assign all of these different textures. And I did that with these block JSONs. These might look familiar. I did take the concept of them from a certain other game. But so what's really cool about this is I can define kind of what the block looks like here. And if I switch this out to the arrow, you can see that now, now it's using this kind of like half block. And one of the faces here is not assigned, because if I go back to the block definition, the left face is not assigned. What's cool is if I actually delete this left face from this list, hit save, and then just restart it, the left face is actually now just missing. It doesn't have a left face anymore. So you can choose to not render faces if, like, theoretically the block would never have that face exposed. Also for the block rendering, there is no, like if I go inside here, you can still see this face. There's no face culling yet. That should be simple enough to add because of how I have it set up, but that's just a later thing. Also what's cool is if I kind of come up here and shoot this way, nothing happens, because these are like the collision for these blocks are actually half height. So I do have to hit the block itself in order to add new ones. There are a handful of known bugs. For instance, so in this engine, there are chunks that are a 10 by 10 by 10 region. If you go into the negative, the chunks get weird and the block placement is a bit messed up just because of how I'm doing the indexing. So you have these cool files. So there's the like mesh manager, which handles all the loading in of all of this, generating the UV offsets. So you can also in here, you could also do like colon UV, and this would actually change up how, like where it grabs from that texture file. But if you don't, it will automatically kind of figure out what the UV is from these min and maxes here. If you notice, submeshes here is an array, so you can have more than one. I did not make a block that did that, but it works fine. I like the system. I think some ways I'm going to expand it is maybe specifying on the mesh if that's actually a collidable mesh or not, because theoretically you could have a mesh that you don't want to be you don't want to actually have collision, but you still want to have it render a block or part of a block or something. But for now, this is a lot of good progress. I'm happy that this is really starting to come together. I'm not entirely sure what my big next step is. My next big step might honestly be, I could see my next big step being lighting, as that's something I'm going to have to tackle and kind of figure out how to do. I do need to start getting kind of collision in, like actual like entities that exist in the world and can collide with these blocks. That will be a kind of ordeal as well. And that's something I got hung up on last time, but that was again a few years ago. So hopefully this time I will just work through it and make it all better. Yep. This was my second kind of devlog here. I'm very, very happy with this result. And I love the fact that the half block collision just works. Like I didn't have to do anything else special to it. It just works, and yeah, I'll see you next time.